Elton John has a lot to be happy about these days. Just got a #1 song in the UK, and
got a new hip.
He's got a new hip, and by all accounts is really loving fatherhood. In fact, he spoke to The Guardian over in the UK and talked to them about his life with David Furnish, raising their 2 sons, who are, I believe, 10 and 8 now.
Gosh. Wow.
Yeah. So one of the things he talked about is the fact that how they parent, that they don't. There's no corporal punishment in their household.
And there's a reason behind that.
Yes, and it has to do with Elton's childhood. And he says, look, you know, when I was growing up, my mom beat me with a wire brush. My father would beat me just if I took off my coat from school the wrong way. He's clearly very traumatized by it, to the point that he says, look, I know that I don't want to be that kind of parent, and David and I are not those kinds of parents, but I am always worried about my temper just bubbling up. He says I could explode at any moment.
And what's so interesting about this, I just want to show you this, that, you know, sometimes we have seen this over the years. Like this is
Elton John was famous for his
this is
temper.
Elton coming out of Craig's one night when all of a sudden it was just like,
Elton! Elton, so you're still good with Lady Gaga?
Will you just off?
This way.
wow. So then the question is, where is it coming from?
Yeah, well, I think he says it's this childhood trauma, and
that's, you know, a lot of people who have problems in their childhood, you know, carry that on as adults, and it's really great that he's aware of that and trying to break that cycle of abuse and violence. It's also great. It's Elton John that he's like 74. He's like, you know what? It's time to kind of mellow out a little bit.
Yeah. 74.
Yeah, it's like, there's hope for you yet, Harvey. But
yeah, and by the way, remember it was just a couple of years ago where we saw Elton had a blow up when he was on stage. I think it was during his Vegas show, but he just flipped out as someone had thrown something up on the stage and he wasn't having it.
It was like a water bottle.
And like he said, it's still always there. He says, you know, the thing that's helped him control it, one, the fact that he's been sober for 30 years, but also he said David is, you know, very supportive and kind of knows how to calm him down and walk him back from the ledge when he's about to explode.
You know, what I find really interesting about this, the older I get, the more profound how you grow up affects your life, your entire life. And it really does. It forms you, and it's really hard to, it's almost like part of your DNA. And
I know why I'm laughing about this? You are.
I was wondering.
Here's why I'm laughing about it. I'm not going to say how old, but you're considerably older than I am.
Right.
But I don't think, the reason I'm laughing is I know all those things you're saying because I go to therapy, and I don't think you do currently.
I did. But I do think,
like,
you know,
not the old cliche that it's all your mom's fault. Because it's not just mom's fault, but it's mom and dad's
fault. But you see, I think the word fault is a mistake.
No,
it's not about fault.
It's
about,
I
mean, look.
It's the cliche.
The way my parents raised me, I would never raise a kid this way again, just in terms of corporal punishment and whatnot. It was also a different time, but it has an impact. And you really think about it.
Hi, this is Lexi in Columbus, Ohio. I'm glad that Elton has come out about this and is talking about how the way he's brought up, because when we educate ourselves on the way mental health and everything, we realize a lot of our issues are deeply rooted in our childhood traumas. So for him to, self-reflect on, how he grew up, to make sure he doesn't implement that in his parenting, and he's pretty much breaking generational curses. So I'm glad he's working on that so he doesn't put it in his parenting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, I don't think it's an issue of blame. I think it's an issue of understanding who you are.
By the way, if you were in therapy, you would understand that when I say fault, I don't mean it's actually their fault.
I have been, and I got you.
All right, we're not going to have therapy off. All right.